Oh, hi there, and welcome back to British Skylines. We're here in the county of Cambridgeshire, in the town of Great Gammington, and this is episode 14. Now, in this episode, I wanted to do something a little bit different and start working on a bit of a new build construction site area. We'll get to that in a moment. Just need to sort of lay the ground out first of all. So, as you can see, we're just obviously placing some grass just to separate the land. If you watched the last episode, there's a big reason for this. It's we went over the top of the last episode. We worked on a bit of a park area and very heavy on assets. It's causing some frame rate issues. So the plan here is to have a little bit of a gap between, which is where the grass is going to be, just to try and give it that, just try to stop it from lagging when we get over here. So I'm purposely leaving a gap and hoping that does the job, and then obviously this is going to be quite a sparsely populated area as well, so hopefully we're going to get it back, fingers crossed. So at the moment obviously we're just placing down some basic assets here. The buildings that we're using are the UK construction houses by Rick 4000, of course. That's another Rick 4000. He's just everything he does is perfect for this build. It's obviously we're doing a British build and he just does some fantastic British assets. So and McWelshman as well for the roads. Obviously I've mentioned them loads of times throughout the series, so let's do it again. But yeah, we just obviously need to get a bit of space. So at the moment I'm placing some finished houses around the outside. I kind of see it as the fact that these only recently been built. We'll probably have one of them being a showroom, so people can come and see what the new houses being built are going to look like, and they can buy them and whatever they want to do, 1, 100, whatever. But yeah, so these ones have just been finished, and then sort of the stage 1 of the process of the project, and then the new ones that we're placing down, that's sort of the phase 2, and that's obviously that's what the construction company are working on at the moment. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, so place a bunch of them in. Didn't really plan too much about the actual layout of the buildings. It's sort of, I tend to just wing it a lot of times, I must admit. I just see what space there is and I'll just try something, and if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, then we'll try something else. So we are going to sort of slightly change the layout on the inside where the construction is, but that's no big deal because, like I say, it wasn't set in stone. It was just, I'm going to put some here and let's see how it fits. So yeah, these houses with no major details, we're just going to add some bins to later, obviously, because we have to put the wheelie bins in, obviously. But everything else, we're just going to let them be as they are. And then main focus is going to be the new construction houses, which we're obviously placing down as we speak. I will say as well, when in the last episode, I was, because we went so heavy on like trees and bushes and stuff, there were lots of things that I didn't put in that I would really love to do if the computer could handle it and do it. I wanted to, like, benches, hot tubs, fences, bins, litter, puddles, all sorts of things like that. Just the little things that individually don't make much difference, but layering them on top of one another can just obviously bring it to life. And say, unfortunately, we've just got to the point where it's just getting a bit laggy too early on and lower FPS. So perhaps maybe get a new computer at some point, or upgrade the computer I've already got, or perhaps we rein it back and we see if we can improve this. There's so many ideas I've got for this series moving forward. I'd hate to stop it now because I'm going too heavy on one part. So like I say, it's a bit of a sort of recovery episode. We're trying to sort of pull back from where we overstepped it the last time. Fingers crossed. I do hope we do it. Now, as you can see, just obviously getting distracted, but as you can see, we're just popping some fence around the outside. I think all construction sites, certainly where I'm, they are sort of usually boarded off, and they've got some sort of fence around the outside. And these are sort of exactly how I imagine them, to be honest. I was speaking to my wife about this, obviously, Lady Geeky, when I was sort of working through this, and I said to her, I explained, this is what I'm doing, what do you think I should have? And she said, definitely get some, well, she said red fences. I said, well, I've got green ones. How's that? Hopefully that works. But yeah, that does the job. It just covers the view from outside and stops people from being able to get in, and also just people get in and out, or things flying out off the back of a lorry or something. I don't know, God knows what. But yeah, that's what it is, and just a little bit of grass around the outside. No big deal. The reason I'm using this grass as opposed to the grass from the last episode is just because they're larger assets, so one asset takes up a lot more space, less detailed, less items, and hopefully better on the FPS. It does, honestly, it does make a difference. So if I would go back to the last episode, I would do this more and what I did there less. I'm not going to go back and retrofit it because I mean, that's just a waste of time. We'll just learn our lessons moving forward. Like I say, in this one we've got lots of assets being used. Obviously, Rick 4000, we've got some of his buildings, but there's also a whole bunch of sort of general construction assets that we've downloaded on the workshop. And if you do want to see any of them or to use them in your own buildings, in your own cities, then I do have the collection in the description of the video, which you can obviously check out. It's got everything that we've used so far in the series, including this episode. So hopefully that comes in handy. But anyway, I get distracted again and again. So I know I said I wasn't going to add much detail here. I'm just adding a few trees just to give it that little bit. I know, yeah, like I say, it's going to be a nothing, but it has to be filled with nothing. So we're trying to do sparsely populated assets just to get it right. It does work. It does give the effect I'm looking for. That's pretty much the last of those bits, and then obviously going to start working on the inside. We've got the basic houses in place. I'd say originally I was going to have a layer go around the back, but as soon as I started, I didn't factor in the gardens. That was the problem. So once I put the existing houses in, and I thought, actually no, we need back gardens and front gardens, I then rearranged the obviously the area here, and it fits well. And I think once the buildings are finished, which they never will be obviously, but once the buildings are finished, they would have their right size gardens, and it works hopefully. Here we're just obviously changing the floor. We're using the mud decal, dirt, I can't remember which one it is, but it's a decal that makes muddy, dirty areas, and it just makes it look so much better. You don't want green grass in a site like this because all the construction traffic in and out, it wouldn't happen. The grass comes afterwards. They plant that and they put the seeds down, or the turf, and it comes along. I'm actually using two different types of decals here just to give it the layered thing. So we've got, I think actually one of them is called dirt and the other one's called mud. Don't ask me which one's which, but it just means that there's just a bit more detail, so when you look at it from afar or up close, it just seems a bit more interesting. It's just not just like plain colour, and like, you know, me, I just don't like having one plain stagnant colour. It just doesn't fit well with me. So yeah, anyway, a few more houses here, so just one last row, and again the gardeners will have to go back beyond the fences, so they'll probably move that, but yeah, it's fine, isn't it? Because the other thing as well, that grass area off the outside, I kind of envision that as being the phase 3 of the new build area, and obviously the construction company will just move over there once they've done this section, once the demand's in place and they've got houses being sold. I got a couple of signs here, and I wanted to try and be careful and put them at the end of junctions so that people drive up to the end of, or walk up to the end of a path or road, and they would see them. So it's strategically placed for the people of the city to see these things, because it's essentially, look, we're building houses, come buy houses from us. So that's what that is. You can see there I've just got a whole bunch of assets that I want to use, and I've just put them at the top of the map just so that I don't forget them. I do that quite a lot. I do tend to cut it out of the videos just because I think I don't really care about that, but because I'm back and forth so much, I just left it in here. A couple of little porter cabins there so that the workmen have got somewhere they've got an office for the foreman, and perhaps there's a cafeteria or a eating room somewhere for them to go down and have their sandwiches, and maybe put their bags. I don't know. Where you put your stuff in construction sites. You can tell I don't really like going on many construction sites. But then we've got some other stuff. We've got cranes, and we're going to have like all the vehicles and stuff like that. It just brings it together. It just makes it believable, I think. I hope. You tell me. I mean, does anyone watching here work or been on construction sites? What do you think? What would you see here that maybe I haven't put in, or what have I put in that you think, yeah, bang on, that's exactly what it is. We'll just move them there because they're too far away. Yeah. On the subject of props, I do find that they really do just change a whole aesthetic appearance of a map and a build. It's just amazing how much difference it can make by just placing a few props and decals in. It doesn't have to be anything amazing. I mean, we've got maybe 20, 30 here, and we'll obviously spread them out throughout the build. And nothing wrong with using the same ones over and over again, and obviously using certain ones just once. That's absolutely fine. But it can make such a big difference, and it can suddenly bring it to life. It's just I find it, I'd say, really useful. It just makes a massive difference. Just here we're going to sort of tweak the road as you come out. Obviously putting some dirt decals there just to make it so that when the traffic comes out, it's bringing the dirt with it and destroying the road. I did mess this up a little bit, which I'll fix later on. I don't know if you see it, but it's certainly the end credits or the end cinematics you'll be able to see that I fixed it. What I did there, you may have already noticed, I've actually did it so it's on the wrong side of the road. So when the traffic comes out, obviously it's in England, so you drive on the left side of the road. I made it so it's on the right side coming out. So I fixed that. No big deal. I can get it sorted. But yeah, it looks a lot better in the post at the end of the video in the cinematic scene. So while we watch that, let me know what you think, and if you think it looks alright. Fingers crossed. There's a little port loser there because people need to go to the toilet, and yeah, I mean they might just go on the side of the building or in the bush, but they should use the toilet. That's what it's there for. So yes. Under these little lean-to here, we're just adding some materials so that obviously the construction workers they don't have to travel too far. So we've got a few different places like this on the site where people can just go and they'll collect the woods or the iron struts, whatever they're called, and obviously it's all bits to go towards building the houses. Obviously all these ones are sort of at a certain level complete. They've got their foundations in place and they've got sort of the basic layers, and it's now the next stage. We've got the bricks and the clay and the tiles and say all the wood, just to sort of finish it off. So once generally in housing building sites, from what I've seen, it's this stage that takes a long time, and then the house just shoots up because it doesn't take long to lay some bricks and put some tiles in the top. It's all the planning and the prep work beforehand that takes the time. So hopefully these buildings are going to look really good once they're finished in the game. Obviously, like I say, they're never going to be finished. It's always going to be a building site, and I think it's going to look great. Hopefully, in weeks, months to come, when we look back on this, it's going to be surrounded by other buildings. This site should remain as it is and just look amazing. I do, like I say, I do have loads and loads of plans. So I just hit the microphone. I don't know if you heard that. I do have loads and loads of plans for the rest of the city. Hopefully, we can get it done. We don't have lag and frame issues, but I've got so many assets downloaded that I really want to use, and if I don't use them on this world, we can use them on another, but I'd love to get them done on this one. I really would. I've got some fantastic ideas, and you guys, you've been giving me some amazing ideas as well. It's some of the stuff you come up with I've never thought of it, and like I say, I will always credit people if they suggest it. So if you've got any ideas moving forward, just let me know, because I'm always open for ideas. Always. Another project that I've been thinking of doing as well, whilst working on this series, I'm loving all the details, and I'm thinking like this. It's amazing how well this city can come to life and look so much better by adding all this stuff in. But I really want to try it where I only use the vanilla assets and vanilla buildings and nothing else. Maybe the odd mod just to help make things run better. But I'd like to see what I can achieve just with the vanilla stuff. Now, I don't know if that appeals to anyone else. Let me know. It's not going to be something I'll do straight away, obviously. We've got lots more stuff to do here. But if that's the sort of thing that appeals to you, let me know, because I can start planning that and figure out sort of ways to make that a reality. But I mean, obviously, if you don't, it's not a problem, because we can. I love doing this as well, so I can keep going and keep adding to this map. Once this map's done, we'll move on to another one, and we'll do more. I think once this one's done, I don't think I'll do another UK one. I think I'll try something different. And if there's something else you want to see, maybe you want to see me try an American one, or something set in the desert, or in somewhere else in Europe, for example, Asia, wherever, an African city, maybe something set in space. I don't know what's possible. I can look into it. But if there's something you'd like to see, you let me know, because I'm all open to ideas and I'm always listening. Yeah, so as you can see here, as obviously we get distracted again, we're now just popping some of the final props in here and starting to really make it come to life. We've got the construction vehicles in place, and we're gonna add some people in. I think I don't actually show that. I think that was all done off camera, but it's a bit like we did in the episode where we made the traffic accident, where we put the static people. They don't move, but they just look good. So they're going to be added as well. So you'll see them in the end cinematics. So obviously don't forget to check them out. I think they make a massive difference. I really do, because it just brings it again just more to life. It really does. But yeah, everything's looking good. What I will say though is obviously this area, there's no reason for any of the Sims to actually really go here. There's no parks or buildings or anything for them to actually do. So as the city grows and we look back, it's going to be pretty static, but that's fine, because to be honest with you, when you go down a building site, you tend to see most of the time people are just standing around doing nothing anyway. So I'm not saying doing nothing, but there's always that one guy doing the work, and then there's 3 supervisors watching them to make sure the health and safety is applied. So, you know, I let it go. But yeah, we're just putting the final few props in just to make it work. Just anything I can think of to make it feel more like a construction site. And maybe I've missed something out. Maybe I've added something in that you think doesn't really fit. Let me know. You know, whatever. But I think it works. I personally, I'm a fan. I think it looks fantastic. This is my personal opinion. I'd love to know yours. And yeah, obviously we're going to put the wheelie bins in around the house and stuff, which you'll see in a second. But I think, unfortunately, we are just about out of time for this video. So as always, I mean, obviously, let me know in the comments any ideas you've got. I said it about 5 times this episode. I'm always open for ideas, and I will credit people if they give me ideas. I find I'm loving the fact that all you people are loving all the comments, or loving the video in the comments, and I'm loving reading your comments, replying to them. I reply to every single one, and I'll try my best to do it as quick as possible, and include them in the videos as and when appropriate. But unfortunately, we are out of time now, so if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and obviously tell your friends about it too, because if you like it, there's a good chance they will too. But as always, I've been Skiky Gamer. You've been awesome. Enjoy the cinematics, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.